I'm glad to see Wargaming wised up after the Alpine Tiger just being a complete flop, because they sold the Caernarvon AX for 9 million credits on the EU server, and it sold out, I think, 15,000 units in 3 minutes. And actually, no, it was actually less than 3 minutes. I read somewhere that it was like 2 minutes, like 45 seconds. It was crazy how quick this tank sold out. Now, I already had one of these because I got it from the marathon whenever it was initially released. But yeah, be very prepared if you want to get one of these things, because on the NS server, I suspect it will probably sell out in no time at all. Because if the demand is that high on the EU server, I don't see why it wouldn't be that high on the NS server as well. So just some general things to be aware of for this vehicle, because I suspect, like most people, will probably want to go for a tier 8 premium heavy tank if they can get one for credits. I mean, 9 million credits, it's a lot of credits for a one-off payment, because you're never going to sell this vehicle once you get it, because, well, why would you? I mean, it's a tier 8 premium, it's a moneymaker, that's what it's supposed to do. So it's a big investment, but this is a money maker. It will gradually, it will pay for itself after a certain amount of time has passed, and then after that it's just all just gravy from there effectively. So just some general things to be aware about for this vehicle. This thing's playstyle is a hold down heavy tank, so very similar to something like a Super Conqueror, and it's very suitable. This thing is the premium for the Super Conqueror line because it's a strong hold down heavy tank. It doesn't really like using its hull armor very much, which is a little bit of a departure from the Super Conqueror, because the hull armor on the Super Conqueror is actually pretty solid. But it's more in line with the other vehicles like the Tier 8 Caernarvon and the Tier 9 normal Conqueror. So I would say that you want to just use the turret where you can. Just try to avoid showing the hull if you can, because the hull is very fragile in comparison to the turret. The turret's pretty tough, especially if you're using your gun depression. So if you're able to just sit there, just showing your turret and just keeping that gun firing, it'll just devastate whatever drives into your line of fire. But when it comes to the hull, you can use the side script against smaller caliber guns. But if a gun is like a 155mm gun, it'll overmatch your side armor with no problem whatsoever and guaranteed do damage. Also, you have to be aware of the lower front plate on this thing's garbage. It cannot take a hit at all. It will just get pinned by everything. Also, I believe the ammo rack is here as well, so you want to try and protect that if you possibly can, because as you imagine, for a vehicle based off its rate of fire, ammo rack being in good health is pretty important. So if you're able to stay hold down, only show the upper front plate and the turret, then this thing here is pretty damn deadly. But if you're careless and expose your hull needlessly, then you're probably going to take a lot of damage very quickly, because that's something which does catch people out whenever they're driving this vehicle. But if you spec this thing out to the max to maximize the rate of fire on this thing, you can get a 4.67 reload time, which is absolutely insane. That's with the rammer, vents, Brothers in Arms, and pudding and tea, I think it's called. Yeah, the food consumable, all active on this tank. It makes the reload time just crazy quick on this vehicle, and if you're able to track an enemy vehicle once and make them use the repair kit and then track them again, then this thing here can effectively farm that enemy vehicle for its entire HP pool, because they will not be able to repair after that. And yeah, this thing is just fantastic for perma tracking vehicles, and even when you're bottom tier, the turret's still pretty solid, and it just effectively changes a little bit in playstyle, because instead of playing like a medium short to medium range role, you switch from being short to medium to being medium to long range if you can, because you just want to try and avoid being the center of attention if you're bottom tier. But whenever you're top tier, you can obviously play a lot more aggressively than you would when you're bottom tier. So yeah, just generic just take things for whenever you're playing tier 8 vehicles in tier 10 games, or tier 8 vehicles versus tier 6s. You just play it based off of how strong your tank is in your matchmaking. So I think this thing is a pretty good vehicle to buy, because if you're going down the Super Conqueror line, this thing is a perfect crew trainer, because, well, it's an English heavy tank and it's not garbage like the FV I think it's called the FE201. Yeah, the FE201. This thing's crap, and so is the TOG. Like, no matter what anybody says, the TOG is kind of crap as well. So this thing is really the only pretty solid tier 8, or it's the only solid like English heavy tank crew trainer. So it's probably a good one to go for if you can.